Okay.
You got a customer, they want a car, they want a yacht, they want a house, they want a condo, they want security, a private chef, whatever they want, you bring them, you get paid.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So I start hiring and empowering the people around me, and it makes me feel better because when I was in the corporate realm, I couldn't hire everybody around me. Right. Everybody around me didn't necessarily fit that description or didn't know how to adapt to the different environments.
Hey guys, what's good? And welcome to the COSIGN Life. If you're watching this video, that means you co-sign us and we co-sign you. So here are a couple of ways to support us at COSIGN Magazine. Number one, view the description below, click the link, and purchase an issue of COSIGN Magazine. Just like this one right here, physical. You can purchase this. Number two, you can also support us by purchasing COSIGN merch. Hit the link below and it'll take you to all our past merch items, and we'd love to have your support and see you wear COSIGN Magazine. Episode of COSIGN Conversations. This time we came out to Miami, had to connect with my guy Flo. My G, how you doing, man?
Doing, baby?
Man, appreciate you having us in your humble abode, in your spot. Get to chop it up with you, man. Special edition. Got my guy Chris here, editor-in-chief of COSIGN. So we're gonna have a conversation, man. And how I kind of like to start these conversations out, bro, is give you the platform just to kind of tell people who you are, what you do, and then we'll just get into conversation.
Awesome. Well, my name is Hollywood Flo, aka Flo Smith. Most people call me Hollywood. I've been here in Miami for about 3.5 years, originally from New York, moved here from Cali. And you know, what I do is Luxury Concierge, Self-Made Marketing Group is the name of my company, and we supply the stars, we supply you. Anybody who comes to Miami, they go through us, whether you need cars, yachts, a place to stay, nightlife, restaurant reservations, whatever you need. We do it. I'm also the face of Hennessy for Miami as well. And that's just, you know, a little bit about myself. West Africa, Liberia, shout out.
That's what's up. Before we get into anything, man, Hollywood Flo, how you get the name Hollywood? Because usually Hollywood's a bad, like it's a bad song to it. So yeah, still about your name Hollywood Flo.
So it started in high school.
Okay.
In Atlanta, Georgia, Clayton County. I went to school out there in Jonesboro, and I used to host parties.
Okay.
So in Atlanta, they have the host for every nightlife event where you're talking on the mic, you're getting everybody hyped up.
Gotcha.
And then I always used to like dress fly, you know, the swag always on point. So since high school, all the girls started calling me Hollywood, and that name just stuck.
Okay.
And then Flo is my name, short for Flosome, and then, you know, we just ran with it.
Yeah, kept it going.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. So from New York, no, you was born in Cali.
I was born in New York, Staten Island, New York, Park Hill. Yeah.
That's what's up. Went to Georgia, then Cali, now Miami.
Yeah, lived a little bit of everywhere. So born in New York, raised in Atlanta, lived in Philly for a little bit, Columbus, Ohio, San Diego, San Francisco the Bay, Minneapolis, Minnesota, everywhere. And now here in Miami where everyone comes here.
Yeah. So from all them places, what kind of did you learn? What you take from all those to make you, you know, the entrepreneur you are today?
Definitely being comfortable, being uncomfortable. You know, for a lot of people, it's hard for them to leave their comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know, people always ask, damn, Flo, how you move so much? It's because I put myself in uncomfortable situations to help me to get out of my shell, be able to network more, meet different people. And that has brought me here to Miami where all the network I created, all the places I've been, they all come here now.
Gotcha.
So now when they come, I got people come from everywhere. People be like, damn, Flo, you know so many people. It's because I lived a little bit of everywhere and I make my presence felt.
That's what's up, man. I was going to ask you, because you only been here 3 years. So it's like, man, how'd you set up your company to where everybody is coming to you for that? Because I feel like Miami's a place to where it's all about relationships, connections, and who you know. So it's like, man, how'd you build that up that quick in 3 years?
Well, it's doing good business, you know, keeping your face card clean. When I first moved to Miami, it was to expand my company from Cali to Miami, but it wasn't Luxury Concierge.
Okay.
My company is a sales and marketing company. Okay. So when we came out here, we were representing big brands, Fortune 100 clients, some of the brands that you guys all use, I'm not gonna say any names.
Gotcha.
But when I came to Miami, I noticed there was a different market.
Okay.
The sales and marketing thing I've been doing for about 8-9 years.
Okay.
You know, so it was starting to get boring. I am a guy that likes to go out. I like to have fun.
Right.
I like the finer things. I like luxury. So
Sure.
being here, I transitioned my company from being more corporate
Gotcha.
to now dealing with more of our people.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And putting them in that lifestyle and showing them the fun things and now making money off of it.
For sure.
You know, so that's what happened.
So in the early days, how did you get the initial company started? What were the dynamics of what was going on with you? Were you to fall into that lane and make the most of it?
Yeah, so great question. Since high school, college, I've always been a hustler. You know, I've always been the guy that people come to for different things. Whatever they need, I can hit Flo. I know if he don't got it, he knows somebody that got it, right? So after I decided to leave college in 2011, I moved to Columbus, Ohio, trying to figure out my life, trying to get more corporate, trying to learn more about business, right? Doing sales, hustling, moving, but with no direction, no structure, you're never going to build something big. You feel me? So when I moved to Ohio, I started working for a sales company, direct sales. I worked for them for about, I want to say, a year. I learned the game. I learned how to hire people, how to train people, how to show people how to do what I know how to do. Duplication is key, right? You're only one person, but you can teach 10, 15, 20, and they can teach you. That's how you build a company, right? So then I took that business model and I saved up a lot of money because in sales is the highest paid profession, even though a lot of people are afraid of sales, but it's highest paid, commission only. I saved money and I opened up a corporation in Minnesota. My first office was in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I was there for 9 months. And then after I opened up that office, I learned with business to scale, expansion. So then I left someone in Minnesota to run that office and I went to San Diego, California. I was there for about 3 years in San Diego, Mission Valley. Loved San Diego, it was the greatest thing ever. I mean, things were coming so easy in San Diego, but it was making me comfortable, right? So to make myself uncomfortable, I was with a network of business owners who work with these Fortune 100 clients. I promoted someone to take over my San Diego market. That was like my baby. Right. And I went to the toughest area in the U.S., which was the Bay Area. When I got there, shit wasn't going good. Right. You know, I went from being top of my game to having a lot of different challenges, whether it was financially, whether it was business-wise, personally. It wasn't good. Right. I regretted every day why I left San Diego to go to the Bay. But, you know, being the type of person I am, never stop, never settle, the hustle mentality, I got things right in the Bay. I got things moving and I fell in love with the Bay. After falling in love with the Bay, I was there for about 3.5 years. Miami opens up. I wanted to go to Atlanta. I wanted to get back to the East Coast. Atlanta wasn't open, Miami was open, and I decided to come here, and then the rest is history. You know, we still work writing that story.
Gotcha, okay. So when you mean opened up, kind of elaborate on that. As far as what you were doing, there was an opening in this market? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like there was nobody here representing the clients who were representing. So I could open an office here in Miami.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Gotcha, okay. And one thing I want to talk about too is sales, man. Like you said, everybody's afraid of sales. But there's no cap. The more you sell, the more money you make. So it's definitely, and no matter what business you're in, you have to sell, whether it's yourself, a product, or a service. So for somebody who's afraid of doing sales, man, what kind of advice would you give them to get out there to go, you know, shoot their shot?
Well, it starts with you believing in yourself, number one. With sales, confidence is key. For sure. Me personally, like I'm not, let's say, a very outgoing person. Right. Like if you see me in the club, you see me at a restaurant, I'm usually to myself chilling. Right. But when it comes to sales, when it comes to business, that's when my personality comes out. That's when I'm talking to people, I'm chopping it up, and it's believing in yourself. People have a need for something, you just provide that need, and that's all you need. So find something you love to do, and just run with it.
Gotcha, man. I mean, in Miami, bro, with this market, I'm sure you got a lot of competition with what you do now.
100%.
So how'd you separate, you know, self-made marketing group for every other, luxury rental concierge company?
Because I'm living it, right? So the difference between me and some of the competition is they're not living that lifestyle. So you go on my Instagram, people will see I'm in the clubs doing what they're gonna get from my company.
Right.
I'm driving the cars that they're gonna rent from my company. I'm on the yachts. I'm with the environment, right? I'm doing the business. They see it, right? So that's what helps us separate from the competition, as well as great customer service and providing luxury experiences.
For sure.
Is the competition more corporate? When you say you're living it and they're not, I mean, is it more so?
It's more corporate, or it's more people working under people, where to live in Miami is not cheap.
Right.
So to have this lifestyle, you gotta have some good finances behind it, and a lot of the competition, they're not doing that. It's more so, I'm giving you the deal to get on this yacht, but you're never gonna see me on a yacht.
Right.
You might get a yacht from my company, and because I know you, or I know you, I'm getting my own yacht. We're gonna get on the water. It's a different, because I'm with you, and then I'm bringing the vibes.
It's an experience.
So you know you're gonna get that experience when you come to self-made.
So it gives you credibility to the fact that you're
Exactly.
Man, but okay, what I do want to talk about too is, so not even just, the luxury aspect. A lot of people are getting into the peer-to-peer sharing, whether it's homes, whether it's car, etc. So what you kind of do is a higher level of that, right? So do you do everything personal through your network, or do you use these other platforms out there to where they allow you to, post your cars, your vehicles, your house, etc.? Do you use those as well, or everything is kind of more personal to you?
Everything is through my network, or Instagram.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Instagram is the only platform I can say that we post on and we get different business from different places. But other than that, it's through the network.
Okay, so why haven't you chose to do something like a Turo, which I see is going to become popular? Why haven't you went that route?
I like that personal touch. I like that relationship building. I like doing business with our people who I can build with longevity, right? The Toro customer might book a car from us, but I don't know them from anywhere. They don't know me. And Toro has a blockage, just like Airbnb, that stops you from building relationships with those people. Everything has to be through the app.
Right.
They can't call you. They can't text you. It all goes through that platform.
Right.
And if you violate those terms, then you get kicked off their platform because they want to be in control.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And you have like little mishaps, right? Like you might have been in communication with somebody telling them they have to be 5 minutes late. They might be in a bad mood, leave you a bad review.
Exactly.
And then it messes up your whole score on that platform, and now it messes up your business. So I feel that, but it kind of goes back to what you said, those relationships and doing the experience, because without that, that's what your business thrives on.
100%.
So with that, how the Hennessy play come in? Like, is that something you had to apply for? That's something they found you? I mean, you already live a lifestyle, so was that an easy transition? Or kind of tell us about that, how that kind of happened?
So I've been trying to get with Hennessy for the last 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Since I was in the Bay.
Okay.
So my big brother, Sean, he's the face of Hennessy for the Bay.
Okay.
So when I was out there, me and Sean was always together, and I was like, damn, that's so cool. Like, the Hennessy thing, I'm learning all the aspects, right? So now I moved here to Miami, and Carrie, she was running Hennessy here in Miami, which is a girl, Sean introduced me to her.
Okay.
COVID hit, Carrie decided to go in a different direction.
Okay.
My name was in the hat because I was always with Carrie, I was always with Sean.
Okay.
So then I went through the interview process.
Gotcha.
Longest interview process I ever did, and it was all on Zoom, because of COVID.
Right.
So did the interview process. I had to make some adjustments with my lifestyle, and now working with a global brand like Hennessy. So made those adjustments. They loved it. I got the role here in October.
Okay.
And ever since then we hit the ground running. From dinners to events to multiple things, and we're not even in full throttle mode yet because it's still COVID. You know.
Man, do you feel like that kind of adds to your image, your repertoire? Because now not only you live in this lifestyle, you have this concierge service, but now it's taking the vibes to the next level.
Exactly. Yeah, the network has definitely opened up a lot more.
Right.
since getting Hennessy with different people reaching out to me that probably wouldn't have reached out to me on a personal level if I wasn't the face of Hennessy for Miami. So definitely using that to my advantage, and pushing the brand always.
Nah, for sure. You had something?
No, you asked the question. I was just about to ask. It's like I'm sure that it
100%.
Man, I'm not. Okay, well, I'm trying to ask this like we homie, but not being your business, right?
Yeah.
So people like numbers games,
Mm-hmm.
right? So to get in the industry you're in, with, luxury, exotic, how much money do you think they need to have? Whether it's liquid or whether it's an investment, what should they have in their pocket? Sometimes you might have to front, the product you have for some months. So what would you suggest as a good number to have to kind of get started?
Well, I'll start by saying this: your network is your net worth, right? So a lot of the things my company sells and offers, it's through my network.
Gotcha.
So I might know you.
Right.
You might own a Lambo and a Rolls Royce.
Okay.
You've never thought about renting.
Mm-hmm.
I crunch the numbers with you and tell you, hey, in a month you can make X amount of dollars by renting this car.
Right.
Then you might have questions, liability, what if somebody crashes?
Insurance, all that, yeah.
Insurance covers all that, right? So for somebody starting a business, whether it's luxury concierge or it's a hair product, whatever they want to do, they just need to have a good network, number one, because you got all the money in the world, but if you don't know nobody, who you gonna sell to, right? But I would say they need to have at least 10 grand, 10 grand to go. That's a good starting point because you're gonna keep building from there.
No, 10 grand has always been like my key number for some reason. I don't know what about it is, just looks good.
So where was it? You said that you got bored with the company when you were in California and you switched to the concierge here.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you have a network that you can do that, but I mean, what was it that made you want to switch to the concierge?
It was a hard decision.
Right.
Very hard decision. I talked to people about it. I prayed about it because for the last 9 years, up until 2019, November 2019 is when I made the decision. That's all I knew.
Right.
Go to the office in the morning, run meetings for my guys. My guys hit the stores. That's all I knew. I was comfortable.
And you were successful with it.
Yeah, successful. Top of the class. Like, it was shocking to the industry when I decided to leave the corporate world.
You completely left?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And put all my focus on the luxury concierge. And it came to the point where I always tell people, if you're doing something right and you run into a wall, there's ups and downs with everything you do. Nothing goes like this. Life goes up, down, all different directions, right? And you run into a wall, if you're not willing to go back to ground zero, put in that work to get back to the top, then it's not for you anymore.
Right.
Because you know what you have to do to become successful in your industry. You know the work it takes, the dedication, the time, the commitment, the sacrifices, right? And I wasn't willing to do that anymore with the corporate world.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was more so willing to build my brand and get more in tune with my people. Because I tried doing both.
Right.
You're always going to try doing both.
You can't put 100% into two things.
Right.
It was hard because I would go out in the nightlife.
Yeah, it'd have to be.
And then I would have to be up at my office at 7 a.m.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was becoming draining. It was like, okay, I gotta pick one, right? And I mean, so far it's been good.
Okay.
So far it's
So
been
no
good.
regrets.
No regrets. No regrets.
So when with this, was like, what's the end game? You know what I'm saying? Like everybody kind of has an idea.
Yeah.
They see themselves, right?
100%.
So for you, what does that look like?
The end game is expansion. So taking what we have built here in Miami and putting it in other cities like LA, Dallas, Atlanta, New York. But each one is gonna be a little bit different.
Right.
Because I feel like what we do here in Miami with Self-Made Marketing Group and the Luxury Concierge, it's not going to be duplicatable everywhere.
Right.
Because people don't necessarily go to Dallas and want to get yachts, cars, and all this crazy stuff, right? But everywhere has a niche. Right. Everywhere has a market for something.
Yeah.
So traveling a little bit more, I always tell people I think I'm gonna stay in Miami for the rest of my life, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna go live in Dallas for 3 months to learn the market. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna go back to Cali to build this out there and learn what are people coming, what are the tourists coming to Cali for, what are they looking, and then get my hands around there. So the end game is expansion, having offices everywhere.
So you do it yourself, or you hire people who know the market already to kind of put you up on?
I like doing it myself, hands-on. I can't tell anybody to do anything. I don't know how to do it, right? Okay. So at first I do it myself, then I start hiring people around me, like an assistant, keep things organized, agents. So the same sales I used to do for corporate, I hire people that say, hey Flo, I wanna work with you, right? Okay, cool, you can work with me, it's 100% commission. Okay. You got a customer, they want a car, they want a yacht, they want a house, they want a condo, they want security, a private chef, whatever they want, you bring them, you get paid.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So I start hiring and empowering the people around me, and it makes me feel better because when I was in the corporate realm, I couldn't hire everybody around me. Right. Everybody around me didn't necessarily fit that description or didn't know how to adapt to the different environments. Now with this, if you're somebody I grew up with, if you're a family member, everyone knows people, and everyone knows people that come to Miami. Right? So
everybody comes by.
So it's an easier business to put my people on.
Right. No, that actually makes sense, man, because you know what we do with the magazine media, sales in any business, sales has to be important. Yeah. That was one thing I told myself this year: we have to hire our sales agents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're only one person. You can only talk to so many people in a day, do so many Zoom calls, knock on so many doors. Like you have to duplicate yourself, train people, duplicate them, and have them going out there selling it so that the business can grow.
Exactly.
From sales to day-to-day operations to writing to photography to videography, it's like
everything.
We've done so much in-house for so long. It's that time to just really
time to expand.
Right.
Time to expand, bro. So what would you say, man? Because I know it's a lovely job to be able to do. Wake up, do what you love.
Yeah.
Be able to network, communicate with people, but everything has its downside to it.
Exactly.
What are some negative aspects of doing what you do with the luxury concierge and self-made marketing?
Yeah, so sometimes it's time, right? So sometimes a weekend might be busy, like this weekend. Like this weekend, I'm supposed to be in Arizona. It's one of my friend's birthday. Okay. But I told him I can't make it to Arizona because I gotta be in Miami. Right. There's too many people coming in. There's too many people want to book cars, want to book this, want to book that. Lives opening on Sunday. Like it's crazy for me to leave. So sometimes it's sacrificing your time, your personal time, to support other people's needs, right? So that's sometimes a hard part for people, right? But one thing about me is I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put in that work because I know it's important.
Gotcha.
I know it's important for some people when they fly out here and they come in town, they want to get their car from me. They don't want me to send nobody else for them to deal with. They want to deal with me. They want that personal touch, right? So making those small sacrifices and understanding that you're gonna have to sacrifice your time for other people's time sometimes, but it's all gonna pay off in the end.
It's all for the very good. It's all for the very good, man. So what else I gotta ask you, man, is what's like your 2-minute pitch? But what I mean by that is, okay, like you're talking about Liv's opening, you had to build that relationship with Liv, right? Mm-hmm. So what's your 2-minute pitch, or how do you approach people when you're like, hey, this is what I do, I would love to work with you in some capacity? Like what does that look like?
Okay, so a lot of the clubs, the venues out here in Miami, funny part about it, I didn't approach them, right? So a lot of people think they get in by, they want free stuff and they want this and they want to ask for the world, right? For me, whenever I move to a new city, I go and support the businesses. I don't ask for nothing for free. I go spend money. And because it's a new city, I'm not usually with a big entourage. So then you're more noticeable. Like, who's this guy? He keeps coming every week. I thought he was on vacation, but that's what the one owner told me at one of the venues. He's like, I thought you were on vacation, but I keep seeing you every week. So what's up? What do you do, man? And then the conversation builds from there. It's always, what do you do? Like, you're always here. What do you do? And then I started letting them what I do, and then we connect the dots, and we figure out how I can help them, and they can help me.
That's what's up, man. That's bro. I think that's a key gem right there, is, bro. You gotta support people. You gotta spend money with people, man. Because think about this. You ask them. Eventually, you're gonna ask somebody to spend money with you. This is what you have, your product or service.
Facts.
But you never spend any money with them. So it's like, why would they come to you? And I want to say somebody else said that Big Trey, we interviewed this dude. He kind of does the same thing in Dallas. Well, he just does the cars in Dallas, and he's from Louisiana.
Nice.
And I asked him. I said, man, how'd you build your personal brand out here? He was like, man, I went out every weekend and I spent money with the solid people in Dallas.
Exactly.
I never asked for nothing. I always spend money. And then he was like, bro, everybody want to be cool with the one person spending money. Everybody want to be cool with the person spending money, bro. And it's not a thing saying like that usually, but it's like it opens up their mind. Like, man, what does he do? Like, you're curious. You know, like, bro, what did you do? You know what I'm saying? And then you start building. And then you find out y'all got a lot of similarities in how y'all can support each other, bro. But
exactly.
it all starts with that support. You know what I'm saying? Monetary, or just like telling somebody, hey, you know what I'm saying? My homeboy got the cars. He got the yachts. If you need some. And then you personally bring it to them, hey, Flo, I got these people with this. You plug that, and now y'all locked in for that too.
100%.
Man, so that's amazing. You got something, Chris?
No. Well, I was gonna go with early on. So it's COSIGN magazine. Normally we ask who was your first COSIGN, but it sounds like for you it's a little different. It's not only COSIGN. I'm assuming you had a mentor in the game early on that kind of put you.
Yeah.
So who would that be, or who was the first person to really co-sign you into the game?
So I would say my mentor is a guy named Dwayne Long.
Mm-hmm.
He's my mentor more so in business, corporate business, just learning business, understanding, as well as the guy who lives here in Miami, Mike T. So they were all partners in my previous business where I used to work with corporate companies, Fortune 100. Mm-hmm. But they taught me a lot, you know, and everything they taught me, I apply to everything I do now. You know what I mean? And I don't talk to them every day. But the times we do talk, it's always a learning experience. As well as people got to understand you got to read. My ex-girlfriend, they would get mad because, like, rather than being at home and listening to music or, you know, watching a talk show or watching a reality TV, right. I'm watching interviews. I'm watching interviews, now I'm going to learn something from them. If I watch an interview or a movie, I like to watch stuff with substance. Right. Something that's going to teach me something, right? Because you can never stop learning.
For sure.
One of the biggest things I always teach people is, I read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You guys know
it? Yeah. I read it twice.
Cash flow quadrant. You know, everyone starts off as an employee, right? Then you got the self-employed, right? And now anybody can be self-employed, a plumber, a doctor, the food truck, those are all self-employed. But once you're self-employed, the goal is to build a business. That's the right side of the quadrant. Business is when you can go to Mexico and your company still making money. You're right, you have a system that works for you. Then after you build the business, then the bottom of the quadrant is investor. You want to invest. So those are things that stick with me, you know, is going from the left side quadrant to the right side. And I always want to try to be on the right side because that's where the real money is.
Exactly, that's right. I was telling them, if I had an interview the other day, and I was telling them, like, while I'm in Miami, I got like 8 bookings in my loft.
Back home.
Back home. And then, just like you talking about putting your people on, I got a home that I grew up with, you know what I'm saying, doesn't do anything, and I'm like, bro, take over the loft. You know what I'm saying? Like, the bookings, you manage that. And then once we get another spot, you manage both those spots. And then when it's time for you can't do both, you bring somebody on and you train them the same way I trained you and you do that. That way I can be hands off and focus on the big business.
Exactly.
Which is coming here, you know, talking to you and doing this.
And at the same time, everybody eats.
Exactly.
Everybody eats me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But man, talking about that, so interview, what type of things are you watching, are you listening to keep your mind fed and keep a positive spirit?
Okay, so I like the I Am Athlete podcast. That's a big one. Breakfast Club always.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was just watching one with Kevin Lyles.
Okay.
Talking about the music industry.
Yeah.
What's another one I watch? Drink Champs.
Oh yeah.
You know that those are deep, longer ones.
Yeah, for sure.
Gems of the Drink Champs.
Nah,
Yeah, like YouTube, you can learn a lot of stuff on
You
YouTube.
can learn everything on YouTube if you sit down with your mind knowing what you want to go into, because you can also get stuck.
Exactly.
You can also get stuck on
Distracted.
YouTube. Yeah, because you know they pop over something. Hey, you suggest this, you should watch this, and then it kind of goes from watching interviews to learn, and it kind of slides to watching content to entertain.
Yeah.
And then you kind of get stuck in there. So I kind of do the same thing. Like I watch all those. I watch Earn Your Leisure.
Okay.
Sleepers for Suckers, named David Shane's out of Atlanta. And these are like all interviews with entrepreneurs and creators, man, where they're actually teaching you the game. So like, if you want to get in real estate, man, you can go to watch one of their interviews where they breaking it down, like how to get started in real estate with no money, wholesaling, how to get started with a little money, fixing and flipping, how to start with some money, but you want to hold on to it, rental property. And they got interviews for all of those. The same thing, that's what I was asking you about the peer. I'm not going to say what the company is, but the peer-to-peer car sharing, they had somebody who broke it all the way down to how to get started with no credit, or how to use your credit to get multiple cars at one time. And then the same thing you said, how to use relationships. Hey, I don't have no cars, but Chris got a Lambo, Ian has a Benz, you got a Jag, build up relationships, figure it out. Now I got 3 cars in my fleet.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, man, we're in the information age right now to where you can learn anything on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? What is something else you're trying to get into, or are you trying to stay solely focused on your company right now? Or have you seen other type of things you may want to invest in but not being fully?
I mean, right now, I'm really focused on the self-made marketing group, and then obviously what I got going on with Hennessy.
Okay.
But other things I do is obviously I do stocks. You know, you gotta invest your money. Dogecoin was really good the other day.
To the moon.
Yeah. So we'll see how that continues to go. But just constantly educating myself on different things, right? So like I told you, we're about to acquire maybe 1 or 2 houses here in Miami, and then get them on the market. You know, because there's a lot of that's an industry where, if I had to say our weakest part of self-made marketing group right now is the home industry.
Gotcha.
And recently it just happened. It used to be our stronghold. However, during COVID, a lot of people moved here from New York and Cali.
Okay.
And the houses that we were renting out for the weekend or for a week, they rented them out for 6 months. So now they're off the market.
Gotcha.
So there's a shortage in houses here in Miami when people come, so most people now have to stay in the hotels or stay in the condo. But if you're in a big group, you want that house.
Right.
So I'm trying to get in the house market a little bit more, trying to acquire more of our own houses and self-made.
Okay.
That way we can also help out with the price.
For sure.
Because the owners of the houses now know there's a huge demand. Right? Supply and demand.
For sure.
But the supply is low. So their prices are high, right? So it's trying to get in there and have more control of that industry for sure.
Was COVID a lot to do with the people moving down because Florida stayed open or
Exactly.
open? Okay.
People from New York, they say over 1 million people moved here from New York and Cali during COVID. Yeah.
Man, and not so, like I said, 'cause sometimes people pride, man, it could be brewed and come off wrong, but out of all these, like, you personally, are you starting to get into like owning more stuff since you, or is it more basically still relationships so you can kind of leverage your credit for other things and your capital for other things, or are you actually getting to come start buying or renting, under my own?
Only for the condos and the houses.
Okay.
For the cars, no. We rather not, due to like certain liability reasons, stuff like that. We rather just deal with managing them. So what we do is manage the cars, right? Same with the yachts, we manage the yachts, right? Yachts is something that we might purchase in the future, but right now we manage them. But the houses and the condos, that's more so where we're gonna have our own fleet of those where we own them.
Gotcha. That's smart. 'Cause worst case, you can rent, lease, and then if anything ever goes wrong, wait the equity builds up.
Exactly.
And you can always make that exit, bro. So while Chris, I'm gonna let Chris think on last question. Before we get there, I want you to kind of leave us with something that you may have learned that that you kind of refer back to keep you motivated, so that you can motivate others. Because like right now, it's not always about entrepreneurship. Even if you do have a 9 to 5, it's about what else can you do. Whether it's start a business, sell a product, teach a course, etc. So what can you do to motivate people out there? Or what can you say to motivate people out there who's trying to start a new business or grow the one that they currently do have?
Yeah, so one thing I can say to people out there is you definitely gotta find your why. Right. Your why is a big thing, and sometimes your why changes, but your mission, your goal has to stay the same. And I believe everybody's motivated by one of the 5 F's, something I learned a long time ago in sales. They're either motivated by family, right? They want to make sure their family's good, they want to take care of home. Some people are motivated by fame, they like that clout, they like the notoriety when they step somewhere, their face card, right? So it's family, fame, some people fortune, they just want to make a shitload of money, and they want to have a huge fortune. And then some people it's freedom, they want financial freedom where if they go to a restaurant, they order what they want to eat, not what they can afford, right? If they have to book a flight right now, they can book a flight right now. If they have to make constant decisions, they can do that. It's freedom, financial freedom.
Sure.
And then for some people it's fear. It's the fear of being broke, the fear of not being successful, the fear of letting their family down, the fear of not doing something to their full ability, right? And you just gotta find what motivates you and find your why and just continue driving with it. One of my favorite quotes is, the only way to predict the future is to create it. So start creating your own story today.
No, that's amazing. I'm sorry to say, but that's a great way to end this conversation. Yeah, nah, man. I want to say, make sure y'all follow my guy on Instagram at Hollywood Flo, Self-Made Marketing Group. If you're ever in Miami, which everybody comes to Miami, please come see my guy. He'll take care of you. You already heard it. Cars, boats, houses, condos, concerts, venues, chef. My guy took me out last time I was in Miami. Full red carpet experience.
Oh yeah, Canelo fight.
Oh yeah, Canelo fight. Full red carpet experience. Brought the Sprinter out, Kiki on the river. Went to a nice little nightclub. I can't tell y'all where we went, but y'all probably see me on the story. Went to the fight, and it was a vibe. So we at COSIGN, definitely COSIGN Hollywood Flo. It's his company, Self-Made Marketing Group. Y'all follow, y'all stay tuned, and salute, bro. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, bro. Love.
Yes.
Love. Thank you.
Hey guys, what's good? Thanks for supporting COSIGN Magazine by watching this video. If you really enjoyed this content, please subscribe, like, comment, and share.